Super Smash Bros. Is probably the best crossover series ever, and nowadays not only Nintendo All-Stars are coming together to fight, but characters from other third parties as well, like Sonic and Pac-Man. Now, having a character be in Smash essentially solidifies their place in the world of gaming. All the biggest game franchises are here, such as Mario, Zelda, Pac-Man, and a lot of others were represented as Mii costumes or assist trophies, such as Doom, Cuphead, and Undertale. And of course, Minecraft, being the best game of all time, had to deserve a spot in Smash. When Steve and Alex were announced for Smash, people went wild, and after seeing that Steve could craft weapons and place blocks, people were unbelievably excited for him to come out and finally become a playable character in Smash. However, many expert Smash players today believe that Steve is not a very good Smash fighter, objectively speaking. So today I'm going to be taking a look at why Steve is not a good Smash fighter. Before I begin, I just want to say that this video is not meant to be just a huge criticism to Steve or Minecraft as a whole. In fact, being a Steve main myself, I felt I needed to address these points, which I was shocked to hear for the first time. The point is, if you're a Steve main like me, good for you. Steve can definitely be played competitively if you're good enough, and you can be the best Steve player there is. These are just my views and opinions about him as a fighter, but without further ado, let's begin. So first things first, here's a rundown of Steve's mining move. By holding B, you can mine materials from the ground. These materials include wood, stone, iron, gold, redstone, diamonds, and miscellaneous materials such as dirt, sand, and wool. Iron, wood, stone, gold, and diamond are used for crafting tools, which can be used for attacking or mining. Iron is probably the most important one, as it is used in numerous attacks such as the anvil, minecart, and down throw. Now that we've gone through his rough moveset, let's see what is actually bad about Steve. This is gonna sound kind of ironic, but what actually is the problem with Minecraft Steve is the mining and crafting itself. Now don't get me wrong, it was amazing how they managed to create an entire mining and crafting system for one single fighter in Smash, and they even made it work differently depending on what you're mining, on what stage, and I think it's still amazing. But it's not the most ideal move in a fast-paced, tension-heavy fight. With attacks coming at you from all angles and people charging at you hoping to knock you off the stage, it's very difficult to find time to mine for materials. A lot of materials mined are almost imperative to have if you're even going to stand a chance against anybody, specifically iron. Mining also leaves you extremely open and vulnerable, leaving you defenseless against a wide array of attacks that can mess up your flow. Picture this. You're mining for materials and someone charges at you. They hit you and you fly off the stage. Now keep in mind that Steve is not very good off the stage, as he has very few good air attacks and an abysmal jump height. So you try to recover. You then see an opportunity to drop an anvil on your opponent's head. So you obviously use your down attack and oops, you don't have any iron left. And the anvil can also be used for defending yourself from attacks below. So without an anvil, you can't use it as an attack or defense. The same thing goes for other iron-consuming attacks like the minecart. Another important thing to mention about mining is that it's the only way to get materials for crafting tools and weapons. Your tools can break if used too often, and the durability of the tool will also decrease if attacks are shielded. There's also no way whatsoever to know how much durability your tools have left, so it's basically just a huge guessing game. Once your tool breaks, your attacks will be super weak and you won't stand a chance against anybody. Hence, you will need to mine for materials to craft into tools, which, as discussed previously, takes a long time and leaves you open to attacks. Speaking of being left open, Steve is also at a huge disadvantage when fighting an opponent with projectiles, such as Simon, Hero, Zelda, or Ness. One hit will disrupt your mining or crafting, and attacks from your opponents will also be easy to land from afar, especially considering you're defenseless and slow while mining. Now you might be thinking, Steve does have some good attacks which don't use tools or iron, such as the Elytra, Flint and Steel, and Magma Block. The latter is a very good attack which hits repeatedly and can go through platforms, and according to many, it's a very annoying attack. Unfortunately, if you miss the attack, you are, you guessed it, left vulnerable for the 50th time. Steve also has barely any range with his attacks, as he has no projectiles at his disposal, except maybe the minecart. So what you want to do as Steve is to try and approach your opponents quickly in order to land some hits. Sadly though, Steve does not have many moves that can be used to approach opponents, except for the minecart, which can be stopped, broken, or reflected. This makes landing hits as Steve rather annoying and difficult as well. Another thing about Steve's moveset that a lot of people were excited about at first was the ability to place blocks, but I have to say, it's a really underwhelming move. When do you realistically use this move strategically in a real match? Even for recovery, it's not that great, as you will already use your up special before you reach the zone where you're allowed to build. And speaking of which, why is the zone so small? It's so tiny that there's barely any use for this move at all. You can't use it to attack off screen or to realistically recover, nor can you use it to build cover as the blocks break too quickly. All in all, it's just a rather useless move to anyone who doesn't take the time to practice extremely hard to do a simple action with this move, which probably could have done better with another fighter. Finally, here are some smaller issues I have with Steve. First, his meteor smash, his forward air attack, is very inconsistent. Sometimes it will act as a normal meteor smash, launching your opponent downwards, but sometimes it'll just hit and send your opponent flying. And finally, I think the shovel should always be used for mining on Battlefield and Omega Form stages. The speed of mining and the types of materials you get are always the same when you play on these stages, so why not make the tool you use the same as well? The shovel would probably be the best, as it is the only tool not used for attacking. But yeah, with all that said, that wraps up the video. Let me know if you agreed with my viewpoints and be sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time!